Okay. First, we'll make our incisions. Down. And across. Like tic-tac-toe. Then we'll pull the skin back, and we'll begin to probe. Now, you'll see a little yellow squiggly organ. That is the pancreas.
Come on, Ross. Just don't think of it as a dissection. Think of it as an intersection.
I'm trying not to think about it at all.
Look at it this way. Back on the pond, he was just another frog. But now, his life's got meaning, purpose, a reason for being. I wonder if you get any little baby tadpoles.
That tears it.
Hey, come on, give it back.
Like hell I will.
I said cut it out, that's enough. What's gotten into you, Ross?
And so, in one breath, Hamlet calls the earth a godly frame, and in the next, a sterile promontory. To him, the air is an excellent canopy, and also a foul and pestilent congregation of vapor.
What's wrong with that fool? Can't he make up his mind?
No. Good question, Marcia. Why can't he make up his mind?
Maybe he's confused.
Confused about what?
People are jerking him around left and right. His mother, his uncle. Gangsterese, and the guy's gonna lose it.
All right, key question here, Marcia. Lose what? His mind? Or maybe just his faith in people? But what do you think, Terry? You think Hamlet's going nutsoid here? I think Miss Avila's given up on Shakespeare altogether. Terry, you still haven't turned in last week's assignment.
Yeah, I know. I'll get it to you, okay?
What about today? It's like you weren't here at all. What's wrong, Terry?
I gotta get going, okay?
Oh, you okay? That's 65 miles an hour on a rural highway, young lady, not in these halls.
Sorry.
I like your enthusiasm. Keep your eye on the road, okay? Here you go, pal. Put it in your wallet before I change my mind.
Well, what do you know? Andrew Jackson, our 6th president.
7th. Stop gloating. That was a fixed fight if I ever saw one. That bum took a dive.
Oh, I don't know, Joe. It just doesn't look seemly taking my principal to the cleaners.
I'll let you hang this over my head the next time you lose? Oh, no. Besides, I know how poorly paid you teachers are.
A damn sight better over at Teaneck High.
Yeah, but here we give you all these brainy students eager to learn. On top of all that, you get me.
No, that's a perk.
Huh?
You coming to the unveiling Sunday, huh?
That's a dumb question.
It's been a year, Joe. I just can't seem to get over it.
If I ever lost Carol, I don't know what I'd do. Monica will be there, won't she?
Of course, if it were my headstone, the answer would be no. So, big shot. Who do you like in the game this week?
No running. Keep it orderly, please. Teacher set a good example for your students. Snyder, there's nothing funny about this. This could save your life.
With all due respect, Mr. Feldspar, a sexual encounter could save my life.
I never meant for it to happen. We were alone together in a house we used to share, and for a moment we were a family again.
Brodsky, get away from that hot dog stand now.
We could talk about this at dinner. Kim Fats, neutral turf.
Consuela, lose that cigarette. Fire drill.
Look, Sarah, it's not like I went out cruising singles bars looking for empty, meaningless sex with strangers.
So what are you telling me? You had meaningful sex with your ex-wife? Is that supposed to make me feel any better?
Let's start over.
Look, Harry, I am hurt. I trusted you and you betrayed that trust. And it doesn't hurt any less that it was your ex-wife. If anything, it hurts more.
All right, everybody, fire drill's over. Back inside the school.
Got a kid coming in for a counseling session. Come on, let's go.
Well, wait a minute, what about dinner?
Harry, I need some space, okay?
How much? Foot? Yard? From here to Cleveland, what?
Always just the jokes, Harry.
Single file, no running. Take your time, please.
Listen, you're the one who wanted this meeting, Terry. I can't read your mind.
If a kid wants out of a certain class, they got a right, don't they?
You've got a right to voice a complaint.
Okay, I'm voicing a complaint. I want to be in your English class.
Well, that's very flattering. Something wrong with your present class?
No, I don't like it, okay?
I'm afraid life's not always that easy. We've got 2,000 kids in this school. If every one of them wanted out of the class,
Don't tell me about life. You know, I'm supposed to come here and learn. You want me to learn, you put me in your class.
All right, look, I'll do my best. I can't make you any promises, but I'll talk to Mr. Danzig and Mr. Scharf.
You gotta promise, you hear?
Now, you take it easy, Terry. I said I'll try.
You feeling any better? Oh, Matthew, I understand how you must feel, sitting shiksa all that time and everything.
Mary Kate, you're a shiksa. Sitting shiva is what happens when somebody dies. You sit on boxes, they cover mirrors, you eat. It's paying respect for the dead.
So you were close to your uncle, huh?
Yeah, real close. Now, Uncle Louis was the best. Now he's gone. Everyone's sitting around on apple crates, and, all the family can do is complain about the cold cuts.
Well, look, Matthew, maybe it isn't good to dwell.
Well, it's like they were trying to push death away too fast. Never got a chance to mourn.
Some people tell jokes at funerals. Some people get drunk. It's just different ways of dealing with the pain.
Well, I should have left sitting shiva with a sense of calm, of resolve. I just needed more.
I just can't seem to get through to her. She's moody, unresponsive.
She give you any reason for wanting out?
No, but when a kid's that uncomfortable...
Well, I didn't think it was our job to make them comfortable.
Look, I certainly wouldn't take this personally.
I take my job personally. Well, you know that, Joe. That's why you brought me to Harrison.
Ted, no one's questioning your abilities here.
I mean, sure, I push these kids hard. But I see it, you can never push them hard enough. Not if you want to get through.
So you think your class is too challenging for her?
Hey, I don't think so. Look, if you think Terry'd be happier in your class, she's all yours.
Believe me, my class is no picnic either.
Your decision, sir. What do you think is best for her?
Look, what do you mean I'm not getting a transfer? You said I would. You promised I would.
Terry, will you please just calm down?
Look, you didn't even try.
I told you that I would take this up with Mr. Danzig and Mr. Scharf, and I did just that.
Look, I told you I want out. I mean it, Miss Newhouse. I want out.
Well, I am sorry, but you can't just transfer out of every class you don't like.
Fine. I'll just cut second period. I don't give it down. I'll just cut it.
Look, you are not going to blackmail your way out of this English class. You cut this class, and you'll just be hurting yourself.
He's hurting me. He's been messing with me. He's been making me do things. I won't go back there anymore. I can't.
He fondled her. He had intercourse with her. Sometimes he'd take her off campus, but most of the time he just locked her in that classroom after school. She said that once he tore her panties and he had her make up a story to cover for him. Do I have to go on?
You believe her?
Yes, I believe her. Do you think that girl would make up something like this?
Everybody has their reasons, Sarah. I'm just trying to weigh all the possibilities.
Well, how about weighing the possibility that she might be telling the truth? Joe, as hard as that might be to deal with.
No harder than if someone were to come to me and accuse you. I wouldn't buy it.
But you'd sure as hell investigate.
And I intend to do just that. This will be handled thoroughly, properly, and above all, quietly. Move Miss Avila to your class today.
And in the meantime, what? He just goes on teaching like nothing ever happened?
Until I discuss this with her parents, and until formal charges have been filed. I will not let a simple accusation ruin a teacher's career. And if this leaks out, that's exactly what will happen.
Well, it'd be a shame, all right. Assuming that he's innocent.
Until proven guilty, that's just what he is.
Joe, do I have to tell you that none of what she said is true?
A thorough investigation will be conducted, Ted. If she sticks to her story, you'll have a chance to defend yourself.
Oh, in front of the board.
Just hang on, Ted. The truth will come out.
Will it matter? Once this gets around, they'll never trust me in a classroom again. It's probably all over the school by now.
No, it's not. Sarah Newhouse is the only one who knows.
She believes the girl, doesn't she?
I'm afraid she does. But she's not going to say a thing until we clear this up.
Look, the more you tell them how you feel, the rougher they're gonna get.
The hell with them. The hell with all of them.
Look, I understand how you feel about the class, Roz, but we learn from these animals. These animals help us. Through them, we discover the secrets of what we're all about. We learn from frogs.
I don't want to learn nothing from no frogs.
It's part of the curriculum, Roz. Every kid goes through. Everyone. Listen, I know that dissecting frogs is yucky.
Don't give me yucky, Mr. Butterfield. Yucky is Brussels sprouts.
How you doing?
Fine.
Everything okay in this Newhouse's class? Comfortable there? No trouble catching up?
I said I'm fine.
Try to get hold of your father. You should come in so we can talk about this.
Look, he works all day. It's a hassle for him.
If you want to, call him at work.
No, I'll tell him. Look, everything's all right now. Nobody's bothering me anymore. Can we just forget it?
Afraid not, Terry. A charge like this has to be followed through.
You don't believe me. That's why you want to see my father.
I want the truth, that's all.
The truth is what I told you.
Move in the back of the bus, please.
Well, you know, my mother got home and said, no, I didn't say that.
You'd think saving souls was enough, but they ask you to take out the garbage, too. Thank you. Sure.
Oh, well, certainly is a beautiful building.
The inside's even more impressive.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Only I'm not Catholic. I'm waiting for a Catholic, though. My roommate, she's inside.
You're welcome to join her. Lightning won't strike you down.
No, I didn't think it would.
Of course, you will have to pass through the heathen detector in the doorway.
What?
Joke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. You have me going. So, it's okay if I walk in just the way I am?
As long as you don't stay more than 15 minutes.
You mean there's a time limit for non-Catholics?
There's a time limit on a loading zone.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
All right, I admit the girl's a little rough around the edges. I mean, who in that school isn't? It doesn't make her a liar.
Doesn't make him one either.
You didn't see her face or hear her tell it.
Ah, yes. Here it is. The magic of Mathis.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Sarah, I have not been alone with you for 6 months. Not exactly moving at breakneck speed, am I?
Let's just say I remember your moves.
Ah, they were good, weren't they? Only you decided to go for primitive, didn't you?
At least Harry had talked with me before he tried to jump me.
You want to talk, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. Say a girlfriend of yours comes to you and tells you she got raped by some guy. You're going to automatically believe her, right?
Oh, yeah, girlfriend? Yeah, I would.
Right. Sarah, I've seen 20 rape victims this year alone. 19 were telling the truth. One lied. It's ugly, but it happens.
Not this time. Not this girl.
Sarah, house rule number 1. You can't always read them.
You'll see what you have
You know that Sharf was alone in his classroom with a female student?
Was the door open?
Well, yes, but
The reason you saw him at all was because the door was open. I have told him not to leave himself vulnerable to any more accusations. He will not be left alone behind closed doors with any female student until this investigation is concluded.
do you really think it's a good idea to let him in a classroom at all, Joe?
If I take him out of his classroom, I might as well hang a scarlet letter around his neck.
What if he's doing it to other girls? How are you going to live with that?
For your information, Sarah, I've also assigned a teaching assistant to all of Mr. Sharf's classes.
Well, I didn't see one.
Maybe she was in the bathroom. Maybe she was sitting in the back of the room. The point is, did you go in to look and see, or did you just rush to judgment?
You don't know how painful it was to hear that girl's story.
I heard the girl's story, Sarah. But I heard both stories.
I pulled all the pertinent files, Joe. Afternoon, Sarah.
I was just leaving.
Here's Sharp's records from the other schools he's taught at, Terry Avila's psychological profile, and her record from the health clinic.
The health clinic. I don't believe this.
She's been getting birth control prescriptions for over a year, Sarah.
So in other words, if she's sexually active, that makes her fair game for the entire male faculty?
I thought you knew me better than that.
I thought I did too.
This girl is a child. No. Baby!
No! What did you do, huh? What did you do with my baby?
Papa, stop!
What did you do with my Teresa, huh? All right, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna punish you. I am gonna bury you.
Converting is a pretty serious thing to do, Matthew. Have you considered digging deeper into your own religion?
I don't like the way we handled death. Somehow I think the Catholics have a better angle on it.
You talked to a priest?
Yeah, I did. It was real enlightening. I think I'm gonna go further with it.
What, are you crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. I'm just testing the waters.
You're completely crazy. Trust me, this is not what you think it is. I mean, I'm still trying to work this out myself.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you that it felt real to me. The serenity, the closeness to God. These are all the things that I wanted to feel about Uncle Louis.
All right, look. Everybody feels empty after a loss. I remember when my Aunt Kate died, I must have stared at her body for 5 days trying to find something.
5 days?
Yeah.
Louis didn't have 5 minutes, and bam, in he went. Case closed. Come on, Mary Kate, there should have been more. There's gotta be more. There's gotta be more.
I remember this one guy, Bob Hanks. He taught gym here, about 4 years ago. Rumor got around he was fooling around with one of the freshman girls. Well, I mean to tell you, the guy couldn't teach, he couldn't walk down the corridor, he couldn't eat lunch without a whole bunch of people sitting around watching him thinking it was some kind of molester. And mind you, it was just a rumor. But he was ruined just the same.
An accusation like this is every teacher's worst nightmare.
Every male teacher's, maybe.
Good point. You don't find our sex lurking behind trees and raincoats?
What, you think these girls are totally innocent? The way they dress, the way they behave?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta remind yourself they're just kids.
Matthew, I knew 2 girls at my school that were molested, and they only dressed in uniforms.
Oh, those plaid skirts can be quite provocative, Mary Kate. I tell you, this has cast such a pall over the teacher-student relationship. The other day, I was tutoring a student, and I caught myself resting a hand on the kid's shoulder. Well, boom! I pulled back right away.
Avila claims he did a lot more than rest a hand on her shoulder.
The student I was tutoring is a football player. A jock, for God's sakes. And here I was worried about some kind of sexual impropriety.
I always knew there was something wrong with that man.
Not that I would ever be attracted to a male student.
It's in the eyes. You can always tell it from the eyes.
Or any student, for that matter.
First his wife dies, then this. When it rains, it pours.
I only hope he drowns.
Wait a minute, Virginia. We don't know for sure that Ted Sharp is guilty.
All I know is if somebody mess with my kid, I don't even want to think about what I do.
I hope we all remember to fill out our new insurance forms.
Things are always so complicated. Everything is in triplicate.
Excuse me, people. I've got papers to grade.
Grading papers. Story of my life.
What I'm accused of it's not contagious.
It gives me the creeps just thinking about it.
He's so old. Why'd you even let him touch you?
I didn't let him. He raped her, doofus.
Man, if anyone ever tried that with me, I got spiked heels and I know how to aim.
Look, I don't want to talk about it anymore, okay? You're gonna have to talk about it when you go to court. They make you repeat it over and over.
And they make you say who else you had sex with, too.
Hey, Terry. Did you at least get them to raise your grade?
Shove it, Eddie!
Hey, it's a legitimate question. Just want to know what you got out of it.
Nothing! It wasn't her idea.
I don't know. I mean, if Miss Newhouse tried to molest me, I don't think I'd put up too much of a fight.
I don't have to risk it like anything.
Terry. Nice going, Eddie. You think there's something funny about being molested? Or something sexy? Being forced and being hurt isn't sexy. And being so sick afterwards you can't even talk about it isn't funny. But I suppose that sort of thing would never worry a big, strong, macho guy like you.
Mrs. Lewis? Mrs. Lewis, according to your daughter, Mr. Sharp was only congratulating her for getting an A on an essay. But all he did was pat her on the back. No, ma'am, I would not consider that copping a field. Mrs. Lewis? Mrs. Lewis, so far we only have one student's accusation. That's singular. We're doing everything possible to clear this up, and with a little less hysteria, we just might do that.
He never actually touched me, but
But what, Renee?
once during a test, I caught Mr. Sharp looking down my blouse. He said he was looking for crib notes, but I got my doubts. It's not easy being 15 and stacked, Mr. Danzig.
Personally, I always thought he was a switch hitter.
Switch hitter?
Yeah, you know, swings both ways. If I was you, I wouldn't clap erasers with him. I think Mr. Sharp is a really good teacher. He taught me about poetry without making me feel dumb.
And he made you understand it.
Yeah. And he always had time to talk to me, even after school.
Then you were alone with him sometimes.
Julie, did he ever try to be more than a teacher to you?
Yeah. He tried to be my friend.
It was a nice ceremony.
Thank you. Yes, very nice.
Thank you.
Flowers.
Beautiful headstone. There's a toss-up between Emily Dickinson and Bob Dylan. Irene loved them both. Guess I decided to play it safe. I don't know, Joe. I'm getting near retirement. Maybe I should just resign.
Well, it's up to you, but I think it'd be a mistake.
What's the point? There's just no end to this.
Ted, if you quit now, it will imply guilt. Here's Monica now.
She really loved her mother.
Hello, Dad.
Yes, it was. Thanks for coming, Joe.
I wanted to be here. Carolyn and Suzanne send their love.
God, Susie, how's she doing these days?
Well, how would I know? I'm only her father. She calls me twice a year, whether she needs to or not. Your father over there, he needs you now.
He'll be all right. Always is.
Well, it's just with his business at school. He could use your support.
What business?
And so baptism, the first of the 7 sacraments, is necessary to remove original sin from our souls. Yes, Matthew, what now?
I'm still a little stuck on this confession thing. I mean, if I have an impure thought, that's the same as actually doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't I just go ahead and do it and then confess?
Well, I suppose you could, Matthew, but it would only add that many more Hail Marys to your penance.
All right, let me get this straight now. That means what? 5 if I think it and 10 if I actually do it?
I see our time is up, but we'll continue this next week.
I mean, because a lot of people would be willing to make that trade-off, you know.
Thank you all very much.
Would-be pass from a total study by the president's top advisor.
Daddy! Daddy!
You guys! Miss me or what?
It was great, Daddy. Mommy took us to the zoo.
No fooling.
Nicole was scared to ride the pony. It's not. Let's do it.
Hey, okay, guys. How about off with the coats, in the room. Dinner's in the kitchen waiting. You may be cold by now.
Hey, sorry I'm late. The subway was packed.
They don't have phones in subways, huh?
Yes, Daddy. Oodles and oodles.
7:30, that's what we agreed. I gotta get these kids to bed.
Excuse me, Harry. It's 8 o'clock.
I told you, in front of those kids, to have them home by 7:30. You brought them home late. Do you have any idea what that does? That undermines my authority.
Harry, give me a break. Come on, we made a mistake the other night. We both know it. We both paid for it. If that's what's bugging you...
That's not what's bugging me. You're making me look like a fool.
Believe me, Harry, you don't need my help.
Damn it, Chris, you know what I mean.
Daddy?
I think it's sexist. I mean, how come the ballerinas never get to throw the male dancers?
Upper body strength.
Oh, don't give me that chauvinistic propaganda. Any prima ballerina worth her salt could toss Brezhnikov from here to Swan Lake. Here, let me show you. Put your arms around my waist.
Nice try, Jeffrey.
I could try harder, assuming you'd let me. Okay, I'll get it. Well, well, look who's here, Sarah. Mr. Novak himself.
God, Harry, don't you ever call first?
What would you have done if I had?
I would have told you not to come.
That's why I didn't call. Look, I just wanted to talk to you. I didn't mean to interrupt your Yahtzee game.
Trivial pursuit.
How apt.
I've got company, Harry. This is not a good time.
Lose him.
What?
You heard me.
Who the hell do you think you are? If you want to talk to me, you talk to me right here, right now, in front of my guest.
Never mind. I really needed you tonight.
Please open your books. Turn to chapter 2, page 48.
Most embarrassing day of my life, Mr. Benzik.
I'm sorry.
She told her mother last night. Then they came to me. Said she made the whole thing up. Mr. Scharf didn't do anything. I'm sorry, Mr. Sharp. I'm so sorry for all that my family's caused you, all the troubles. I'm sorry.
Are you going to suspend her?
For now, I'll let her stay in school and talk this out with a psychologist.
Boy, sometimes you think you can read him. I mean, really read him. And then turns out you can't read him at all.
Even worse, I've got a disturbed girl and a teacher with a black mark on his career. Nobody wins here.
I convicted him the second she accused him.
It's frightening, isn't it?
Okay, people, last time we did the respiratory system. Today we'll get into circulation.
Hey, somebody ripped off my frock.
Mine too.
Oh, no. You don't think it was me, Mr. Butterfield? Huh? Come on. What would I do with 37 dead frogs?
You tell me.
Give me some credit, Mr. Butterfield. Not for honesty, at least for good business sense. They wouldn't even make a decent handbag.
What is that smell? It's my frogs.
It's not my fault. How'd I know they'd explode?
Formaldehyde, Roz. It's combustible.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
Could we perhaps know why you're burning frogs on the roof, Miss Hemphill?
I was what you call it, cremating them. I just wanted them to have a decent burial, that's all. I mean, everything's got a right to rest in peace.
Why didn't you talk to me, Roz? Why didn't you tell me how you felt?
But you'd laugh at me like everybody else.
I'll tell you what's bothering me. You're turning those kids against me.
Don't be ridiculous.
Ridiculous? Why is it then that all of a sudden, everything that I do is compared with what Mommy does? I say no. It's okay with Mom.
Don't you realize that they're doing the same thing with me? Only I get to hear how much fun it is to live with you and what a great cook you are.
Look, it's more than that.
Sure it is, Harry. You're still holding a grudge against me. You're still punishing me for sleeping with somebody else. You know, I'm not proud of that. But there were reasons.
Look, it's nothing to do with that.
Right, Harry. What happened between you and I has nothing to do with my relationship with those kids, or my right to be a part of their lives, or their need to be with their mother. Don't you see, Harry? You're not just punishing me. You're punishing them, too.
Uncle Louis?
So, for 2 minutes I turn my back, and all of a sudden you're converting.
No, I wasn't converting. I was just exploring.
But what is with this Michigas exploring? You're a good Jewish boy. I was at your bar mitzvah. I gave you a bond. Look, if I didn't love you so much, I swear I wouldn't even be here.
What are you doing here anyway? You're supposed to be dead.
Don't try to understand the laws of the universe. They're too complex, it'll give you a headache.
I did it for you. You should have seen the way they mourned you. They were stuffing their faces with pastrami and brisket. Did they even talk about what a great guy you were?
Ah, so what?
So what? All they did was complain about the deli. You deserved better.
Look, Matala, you don't understand. I don't need better because I have you. When a person dies, he is dead. It's the living have to go on.
I know. I just couldn't accept that you were gone.
As long as you remember, I'll always be there.
I never got to say goodbye.
That's right, you never did say the prayer for the dead over me, did you? Well, I got a minute. Come. Let's say cottage together.
Oh, I don't have a yarmulke.
So happens I have a spare. Yiskadal, Yiskadash,
Shemay Rabbo, Yamal Dirahi Hussein, Yamli Ma Hussein. Vayechom, Uvyamechon, Uvayechal, the whole base Yisrael, Dalgal, Bisman, Kolim, Bimul, Amin, Yehishmei, Rabbo, Yivrach, Leolam, Ulam, Meomaya, Yisbarach, Yistabach, Yisbarach, Yisramam, Yisnasei, Yishadav, Yishalel, Yishalal, Shemay, Kursho, Briahu, Leolam, Leolam, Kol, Yechirasho, Shirasho, Tushbakosho, Nechamoso, Da Hamim Ram Bialom Bimam Bim.
Sarah, about the other night, I was stupid,
I don't
totally
wanna
out
hear
of
any
line.
excuses,
That's
Mary.
just it. I don't have any. I've been going through something, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too.
I'm having a tough time accepting that this is the end of us.
You're not making this any easier.
It didn't mean anything.
It must have meant something. You loved her once.
Monica, was Ted expecting you? I think he's still in class.
I didn't come to see my father.
You did it.
What?
You molested that girl. Don't lie to me, damn it, not anymore.
I didn't mean for it to happen, Joe. Honest to God, I didn't. It's just that Irene was gone. I felt so alone.
What about Monica, you lying bastard? She came to me. She told me everything. Everything. Your own daughter. That she was 15 years old. That she was old enough to get away from you. So you turned to these students. In these classrooms. How many others have there been, huh? How many more have you gotten away with? How many other lives have you destroyed?
Joe.
You betrayed me. Betrayed my trust. The trust of these students. There's no excuse. There's nothing to say. Nothing. want you out of this classroom. Out of my school.
The first time I told you, I felt a little better. And then the kids started asking me things. And my father, he kept asking over and over, why did I let it happen? Why didn't I tell him right away? He said it had to be my fault. I thought that, if I said it never happened, I could make it all go away. But it didn't.
Nobody blames you, Terry. You didn't do anything wrong.
Just... I feel dirty. You know, like I want to die.
Let me tell you something. What you should feel is angry. And not at yourself.
I hate him. I hate him.
Up next in TV Land, LA's heroic paramedics come to the rescue on Emergency from executive producer Jack Webb. You're correct. Stay tuned.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.